Hi everybody.
Hello there.
Jerry.
And Linda and Gizmo.
We're the Village's Newcomers, and it's time for...
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
We are so happy that you can be with us this morning. It's getting to that real Florida weather. Been very warm. I think it was 92 yesterday.
We had about a week of it.
We're on our back porch today. You know, people have said, hey, shake it up, get out of that lanai a little bit. So we were going to go on our front porch, but boy, that east sun is, it's in your face. So we came to the back porch. And we're going to bring you quite a few questions this morning, a few more than usual. We had a lot of letters come in last week. And by the way, we have a stockpile of letters. We probably have 40, so we're pulling them, you know, as we get similar topics, we're grouping a few together, and I hope you enjoy what we bring you.
Today's Memorial Day. Let's start out with some shout outs.
Being Memorial Day, we thought, first of all, we'd tell you what Memorial Day is. I know that most of you know, but it gets confused with Veterans Day. And so today we'll tell you that Memorial Day commemorates the men and women who died while in military service of their country, particularly those who died in battle or as a result of their wounds that they sustained in battle. In other words, the purpose of Memorial Day is to memorialize the veterans that made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And we would like to do that right now. And you know, we've all had people that we know that served in the military, especially people here in the villages. People of this age, 60, 65, 70, very, very common for them to have served in the military. And so many of them served in battle or know people that were in battle or even lost their lives. So our salute goes out to every one of you.
Absolutely.
We're going to start off with a letter, and not a question, but this letter is really good because it shows you the steps you need to take if you really want a home here in the villages. And like we have told people, in our opinion, the pre-owned home especially goes quickly. And we're hearing that about the lots now, the building lots too. So here's a letter from a viewer that illustrates that, and we wanted to bring it to you. My wife and I had decided to purchase a new home in the village of St. Catherine. We watched the village's website multiple times daily. After seeing one particular home that we really liked and it checked off all of our boxes, we contacted our realtor with the villages, and she promptly did a FaceTime walkthrough with us because we live in the Chicago area. The home was also being shown in an open house that day. The villages allows a prospective homeowner to place a 3-hour hold on new property that they're interested in. That's new property. This allows them a little time to think about the purchase and confirm that they're going to go ahead with the purchase. And they place a small deposit. Other potentially interested buyers can place a backup hold. In other words, they're going to get in line if the original buyers don't go through with the deal. After that FaceTime walkthrough, their realtor suggested placing a hold on the property, and they did. Within 5 minutes after they placed that hold on the property, another buyer had placed a backup hold on it. Within an hour, there were 4 more backup holds on the same property from potential buyers.
Wow.
In addition, our realtor was receiving calls from realtors from other buyers trying to determine if that we were seriously interested in buying the home. She says, this was not something we had ever experienced. It was exciting and nerve-wracking. We thought you might be interested in what's going on with new home sales in the villages. We understand from our realtor that our experience is not that unusual, and her comments were echoed by others. You know, that's the way it is. Right now, as you know, not only here in the villages, but across the country, properties are at a premium. And due to interest rates being low, people are buying homes. And the homes here in the villages are popular, and when a good one comes available, they don't seem to be lasting long if they're priced right.
Yeah, they go within a day.
You heard us say a couple weeks ago that some prices were actually, some homes were being sold at prices above the listing price because of those bidding wars, which, you know, is unbelievable. As a buyer, you don't want a bidding war. As a seller, not so bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for that letter. That's good, and it sure gave us some insight as to buying a new home here, especially one that's pre-built.
This is from Patricia. She said with the beginning of spring, we're going to hear a lot about leaf blowers and weed whackers. With all the beautifully landscaped yards here in the villages, will we be listening to more of those things, hour after hour, day after day? Well, I think you will.
I do too. Yeah, the good thing about it though, you see the restrictions mandate that your grass be cut regularly. So everybody must cut their grass. Some people do it themselves. As I'm looking around us here, we only have one immediate neighbor that cuts his own grass. Everybody else hires it out to a lawn company. Now, unfortunately, they didn't get together and team up. That would be ideal if all your neighbors would say, hey, let's hire Joe. And he would come in every Monday, trim these 5 yards, boom, he's gone, you're quiet for the week. But that's not the case. In fact, why don't I go out and try to find in the neighborhood, see if I can find anybody mowing, weed whacking, or blowing today. Patricia, I came out and drove every street for probably 1 or 2 square miles around our home, and I couldn't find a single person today that was cutting grass, weed whacking, using their leaf blower. So it's not a good example. But on mornings, you're going to have some noise once in a while. Our grass is cut every Wednesday. On Wednesday, you've got the weed eaters, the lawn mowers, the blowers, all going for a short period of time. My neighbor gets his cut on Thursday, so the same thing on Thursday morning. The neighbor behind us and across the street has a cutter on Monday morning. So you can just about bet every morning, Monday through Friday, you're going to hear some weed whacking and some blowing and mowing, but it won't last long. These yards are so tiny. Yeah, you're going to hear it. Look behind me there. You guys see that tree? That's one I showed you. Linda and I came through here on a bike ride, and they planted that double tree. They're trying to arrange it so that it will have the best appearance from the street. And that's what it looks like now. Isn't that pretty? It takes a little longer in Florida to make the landscape look good, but boy, it does look good.
Wow, not much action. That kind of surprises me.
It surprised me too, but I think it was because it was late in the day at the end of the week.
And it was hot, yeah.
The
Maybe
grass,
they do it in the morning.
Yeah, the grass, most of the grasses had already been cut. I don't know, but I do know that as said, our grass is cut on Wednesday. Their grass is cut on Monday. Across the street is cut on Monday. The guy over here, his is cut every Thursday. You know, so every day you're going to hear some mowers sometime during the day. But our yard, honestly, from the time that truck pulls up and they unload that mower till they put it back on and drive away is 10 minutes.
It's true.
10 minutes. And there's a crew of 2 or 3 guys. One will be pushing a push mower. One will be following him with a weed eater. And then when they're done, they'll blow it all clean. And once every 2 or 3 weeks, they will go along every flower bed and the sidewalk and the driveway with an edger and make it look beautiful. And that's why we love it here. But yeah, there'll be noise, but it won't be constant and it won't be every day. It'll be for a short time, almost every day.
This is from Rusty. He heard that it was cliquey at the villages. Any truth to that?
Yeah, we've had that question for a while. Cliquey, what does that even mean?
I think it means little social groups, but you're going to find that everywhere, aren't you?
I don't know.
Everywhere's got their own
There's nothing cliquey
little...
back in Indiana. I didn't see any clickiness. But here, what you'll find more than cliques, I think, is that some of these people were here before you, maybe. And they've already formed their card playing groups or their golf groups. And you might be on the outside looking in. And it would be up to you to express an interest, let them know you love to play cards, you're willing to sub.
Right.
Eventually, somebody's going to drop out. Hey, it's the Villages, right? You know, people don't live forever. Sooner or later, there's going to be an opening in that golf group or in that card group. And if you're interested, you'll probably get a chance. So cliquey, I don't know if it's as much cliquey as they've formed some bonds and they feel good with each other.
Right.
And
you can always start your own. Everybody can start their own little group. So, yeah.
Right on next door, we see it once in a while. Just moved here. I'm looking for some friends to play golf. It's a great way to do it, and then you can have your own clique.
Yeah.
Darren writes a question, and Darren, thank you. I could have posted this question from 8 other people. People don't think we have sidewalks here in the Villages because these interior roads in our subdivision, we go for rides, there aren't any sidewalks.
No.
Let's go out and see if we can see why there are no sidewalks. Darren, your question about sidewalks is a good one. We get it all the time. This is one of the interior streets in our neighborhood. You can see there are no sidewalks. You can also see that there's very little traffic. And the traffic that does go through here is probably going 15 miles an hour. Also, you can see that these lawns are pretty small. They're a little larger here than they are in the Southern Oaks area, but if you were to take up 8 feet for sidewalks, that would really eliminate the front yard. While we don't need it. Look at that street. Darren, you can see that there's more traffic on the major arteries like Hillsborough Trail, Pinellas Place, and on those, you can see we definitely do have sidewalks. So the places you're going to encounter most of the traffic are going to have safe places to walk. So Darren, that's why your question says, I see videos for the Villages, people walking in their neighborhoods and they're walking on the street because there are no sidewalks. Why is that? Darren, as you can see, that's because these streets inside our subdivisions, that's what we called them in Indiana.
Yeah.
Neighborhood, village, whatever you want to call it. They're quiet. They're nice. And the yards are so small. If we took up any of those yards for sidewalks, their front yard would be cut in half. Yeah. So we feel like it works.
This is from Darren.
Same Darren.
Oh, same Darren?
Same one, yeah, same guy had 2 questions.
This is directed to me. He said, Linda, you said you didn't golf before moving to the Villages, but now you golf a lot. How long did it take you to learn? Well, I golf twice a week, once with the women on Tuesdays and then on Saturdays with couples. It took me probably two months maybe. I had lessons for about 2 months. Actually, I had like 2 different sets of lessons. A group lesson with 3 women and then later on individual lessons with another pro. And so I'd say 2 months to get the idea of golf, but it's an on-learning process. So, I don't know. What do you think? How long did it take me to learn?
Well, I think you're still learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the time.
Yeah.
But you've learned enough to have fun. You go out with the girls, boom, she has a great time.
Yes.
Sometimes they even concentrate on the golf shots.
Sometimes we do. But most of the time we're there for fun.
That's what it's all about, because we're no good. You know, if you're not having fun, why play?
That's right.
More about golf. Doug writes in, he wants to make sure that he's going to be satisfied with the golf. He's seen some questionable reviews online. Doug, from your question, I can almost tell you that you're not going to be satisfied with golf. It's great here, you know, it's great. I like the courses. They're all as good as the courses we played in Indiana. The prices are a little high on the championship courses. They're getting ready to go down on June 1st. We're going to have affordable courses because it's hot and the snowbirds are gone. But you know, it's Florida and it's hot. We haven't had rain, substantial rain now. I think one day we did in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So the courses are kind of brown and crispy, but that's all over Florida. That's not just here in the villages. Doug also, oh my goodness, 2 pterodactyls, and they are right here. I mean,
They were, what were those, blue ibis?
those were blue herons.
Blue herons? Oh
They
my
were
gosh.
big, and they just came right in for a look at us, said, what are they doing on their back porch? And they flew away. You could probably hear their wings. Doug wants to know about his cart situation. He says, we have electric carts. We're thinking about bringing them down with us. Can we get by with electric, or do we need to switch to gas?
No.
It's up to you. I rode electric cart yesterday playing golf. They're quiet.
Didn't even know you were riding,
I
or
love
it
the
was on.
quietness of the golf cart.
Yeah.
You know, there's some things about the electric carts I don't like so much, but you know, carts are pluses and minuses. I mean, the gas carts are great. They're a little noisier. They do emit fumes. They do go 250 miles on a tank of gas, and you don't have to worry about recharging them. So we go with gas, you go with electric, doesn't matter. Hey, you saw our gas versus electric showdown on the video. You can look back for that one. That was great. Old Jake, he's got the electric. He dusted that gas cart in a
He did.
short race. Boom. And Jake and Shirley love their electric cart, and I love it too.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, whatever.
It's sweet.
One more question on golf. Robert says, it's difficult to get a tee time on the executive courses in the high season. How about the championship courses? Well, Robert, you heard me just say that the championship courses are expensive. So honestly, we have one right out the street here,
Right.
and we monitor that in and out of our house all day long. There are lots of open tee times. You're going to be able to get a tee time on a championship course because of the price is higher. Women do play them, men play them, you know, they do play them off and on all day, but there are always openings on the championship courses. And there are 12 of them, and each one has three 9-hole layouts. Most of them, not all of them have 3, but so that's a lot of golf to play.
Yeah.
And you can probably find yourself a championship round of golf if you want one.
This question is from Scott and Jan. Can you use an umbrella type clothesline and take it down when you are done? Well, I have not seen this in the villages, so I did call and tried to find out from the sales office, which they could not answer. They said, oh, we've never seen that either. I don't think so. So they directed me to another, the district office phone number, the districts, and they didn't answer. So it was a long weekend or whatever, but I've never seen it. I know for sure that people dry their clothes in the garage on racks, and you just open your garage door and those clothes will be dry within a couple hours. I mean, they really do work. I've got a little little bar in my garage, and that's where I put my wet laundry. So, but I've never seen anybody
Mine
outside.
too.
And his, yes, I do.
Mine too.
I do his laundry sometimes. But no, you won't see it outside. I don't know about the rule on it, but I've not ever seen it.
I mean, we do see people hanging it on their lanais, screen lanai.
Right, inside.
Once in a while.
But you're not going to see it outside.
Yeah. You know, it reminds me of, well, we were in Cincinnati one time. You remember when we wanted to see that movie set. They were filming a movie.
Yeah.
And it was it was kind of simulating Hell's Kitchen in New York. And people had laundry hanging out on
Lines between
the buildings and hanging out on their balconies and whatnot. And in New York City, we've seen laundry hanging out on balconies and things. And
I think anything goes in New York.
but it's not the prettiest. So here the restrictions are more to promote the beauty of this place. And that's why they have, you know, the grass cutting rules and the yard art rules and, you know, laundry. But really, who's going to complain? If you put it out there one day, who's going to complain? You take it back in. Come on.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to complain.
I guess you can always try till someone complains.
Yeah. They come to your house, you say, hey, what laundry? You know, you've already taken it in. Laura and Tim write a question asking, what are the advantages and disadvantages to different areas of the villages? That's a very, very common question.
It is.
Which part of the
don't-
Villages is the best?
People don't know where to go. Should we go north? Should we go south? Should we stay in the middle so we can go both ways?
Well, for us, the farther south you go, the newer homes. When we moved into this home, it was just right under 3 years old. And so that's pretty new for a home. The farther north you get, the older they are. Now, if you went to Spanish Springs, you could find a 40-year-old home if you wanted to.
Oh.
If you went into Sumter Landing, you might find a 15, 12-year-old home. All those things mean higher maintenance. You might need a new roof pretty soon, or you need a new AC or whatever. So the farther south you go, now our home is 5 years old, 5.5. 5.5, and as you cross over 44 and you go down to Chitty Chatty, new homes within a year or two old. Bradford, newer.
Yeah.
St. Catherine, new. Hawkins, new. You want new homes, you go down south.
Right.
Okay, what about the action? You want action, you got to go up north. I know there's action down south. You can go to Edna's on the Green, you can go to Finney Grill. Lots of people down there form those cliques that we talked about because they're having fun together.
Yeah.
And they'll have driveway parties and get-togethers and card games.
And they're younger down there too, I think, most of the younger.
Well, the new homes, if you're being bought by a fairly new retiree, you're 55, maybe 53, maybe 60. So that's still going to be, a big old fat lizard.
Wow, he's a big one.
It's going to be, that's what those birds are looking for when they come by. You've seen us go like this. That's because of big birds here. And the birds, but we're not on birds right now.
Go on, back to the south area. They're going to build up a lot more entertainment down there, and it's coming, and it's going to be wonderful in restaurants. But yeah, it's hard to pick which area you want to be in. It depends on what kind of home you want, if you want a newer home.
They have their trade-offs. Bridgeport up there, bigger yards.
Oh yeah.
Down in Marsh Bend, tiny front yards, bigger backyards.
Yeah.
But a lot of the homes in the new area, I'm going to give them props for designing them, many of them, with views of marshes and ponds and wildlife trails.
Right. Yeah.
It's up to you. Come and take a look. A lot of people love the quaint older homes in Spanish Springs. Lakeshore Cottages is in Sumter Landing. They're darling. They're beautiful.
And do you want to be around more restaurants or more shopping experience, or near the squares where you're going to have entertainment?
If you want to get to the town square in a short time, you probably don't want to be in Finney.
No.
If you don't like the loud music of a town square, you probably don't want to live right downtown Sumter Landing.
No.
It's just whatever you like. Come take a look. We've grouped 3 questions because they all deal with mosquitoes. Joseph says, how are the mosquitoes and bugs in the Villages during the summer months? Don says, I was wondering if I can throw in one more question. How bad are the mosquitoes? Richard and Don has said, are mosquitoes a problem in Lake Sumter Landing? Mosquitoes are a problem. They're going to be a problem wherever you live, whether it's in Indiana or whether it's in Florida. Mosquitoes, they live to suck your blood, and they will. I will say we sat out night before last in the driveway and well after dark, and maybe after 20 minutes, we felt them. We didn't get bitten, but
It's like a little sting.
we could see they were around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So mosquitoes are here. They fog for them. You probably have pesticides applied around your home. They tend to frequent standing water. There's not a lot of standing water in yards here. That's sand that soaks down, but there are marshes and ponds and such around, and there could be, but I think the Villages does a pretty good job of controlling them. As far as Lake Sumter Landing, I don't know, but it sure is popular up there.
But most people go in around as soon as the sun sets, 7:30, 8:30, now even 9, and that's when they'll start biting. But most of us don't stay outside, except if you're down in the squares, but you're too busy dancing, right?
I know I am. Don added another question, and probably is not going to be too interesting for a lot of you, but he's wondering if we had a YouTube channel before we moved to the Villages. And the answer to that is no. We had never put out a YouTube video for public consumption before we did it here accidentally.
Yeah.
Now, if you are a person that says, wait a minute, we've watched all your videos, we know that you did one in 2015. That's true, we did. that was another one done for our son,
Yeah.
basically because he bought us a 23andMe DNA testing kit
Yeah.
because he didn't want to buy one for himself and us. He wanted to find out his heritage. So we did a video to kind of lay out what the DNA test said, and that was fun. And boy, some eye-opening stuff from that. But no, we did not have a YouTube channel. As you know, quickly, we came here. Our sons did not make the move. They did not know we were coming, so we had a new home. We wanted to show them. I videoed it, stupidly put it on an email and sent it. Boom, it bounces back immediately. Movie files are too big to email. My son says, hey Dad, put it on YouTube and I can watch it. So I did. I made it public by mistake or whatever. And before you know it, we had viewers
And people asking questions, so we returned answers, and then more people asked questions, and so we answered them. And then we decided to make another video about the villages, and then it just blossomed.
Yeah, it snowballed.
Snowballed.
And we didn't do it for the money. We still don't do it for the money. But once we reached a certain number of subscribers, YouTube started paying us, and now we have enough to buy a camera once in a while or pay some bills. So we appreciate that. But nope, it's all an accident, Don. Larry and Denise ask about power outages.
That's a good question, because this is a hurricane area,
Right.
for sure. But our electricity and the power is underground where we are, so none of the wires are going to get pulled. But what else?
Well, we're entering our third hurricane season. We haven't had any power outages here to speak of. We had 30 minutes one time.
Yeah.
Our utilities are all underground, so it has not been an issue. I had a nice generator back in Indiana, a really nice one, and I didn't bring it down because I did my research and found out, hey, power doesn't go out very often, and they take up space, and you have to store gas.
Yeah.
So I decided to leave it up there. It's still up there. We didn't bring it. If we thought we needed it, we'd have it here. Do they allow whole house generators? Yeah. And some places do have underground gas utilities that would feed those. You don't have to. Some people actually store propane in a tank in their yard for their whole house generator. But they're allowed, and if they're, I'm only assuming they're allowed because we see some.
Yeah.
So they're here. Now this will be our final question for the day, but stay tuned. Hey. Stay tuned because Gizmo's going to tell you a joke in just a minute.
Adam and Christy ask, is it still very difficult to get into various classes such as yoga, water aerobics, or have they opened up more times for everyone to get into class? Well, I don't think they've opened up more times because there's certain people, instructors, then they do this for volunteer, actually. So no, there's not been any more added classes. But it is a little bit difficult, especially during the season when everyone's here, to get in the classes. And we had to actually take a number at my aerobics class, the water aerobics, this last couple weeks in certain rec centers. So it's still a little bit of a problem to get in your classes. So you have to get there about 45 minutes early. And I do that quite often because I want to get into that class. So it's still a problem.
Well, you were griping like crazy the other day when you came back.
Well, it was because we had to take a ticket. We went inside the water aerobics and we did some walking around. But the lady that takes the tickets or scans your pass didn't come in till 8:30 and the class started at 9. Well, we had to come back out, get in line, and then she wanted us all to wear masks to go in. So that was a big problem. We were irate because now it says you don't have to wear masks. The governor has passed that, and the federal law says you don't have to wear your mask anymore. So we were kind of upset. That was kind of their own little thing that that rec center. So that has been relaxed. We don't have to wear the mask anymore, but still holding the tickets, getting back in line, that's a problem. And we were kind of upset about it.
Do you have a joke prepared for today? Let's see.
Here's one for ya. How is a marine biologist and a dog alike? One wags his tail, the other tags a whale. That's a good one.
That's going to do it for
Mailbag Monday.
Thank you all for watching today, and especially thank you all for the subscribers that we've gotten this week. We really do appreciate that. Please press that like and subscribe button. It sure does help us. Until next time.
See you when you get here.